I am here with Erin Popp, a rare mom that I met at the retreat in Orange County last fall. And we already had a hug, but we'll have another one, right? Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely. We were having this exchange last night, I think over the weekend, about how things are really challenging with this whole COVID-19 experience and sheltering at home. And so I said, "Will you talk to us?" So here we are. we said we'd just have a conversation. So tell me what's been going on.
Wow. Well, I think seems like in my situation because it's so new for me and Cassidy just having been diagnosed in August. Um, we're still figuring things out, and we just really had one of her other diagnoses confirmed maybe in January or something. So still lots of unknowns for us, and treatment for her with the Ehlers-Danlos and the mast cell, and she has the POTS. There's not a lot of treatment other than heart meds and stuff. So I had found a functional wellness center that was in Irvine. So that's 35-minute drive or something. So she was going up there a couple of times a week for IV treatments, and that seemed to be helpful for her vomiting and that kind of thing. But then they closed everything down early March, really. So she has not been able to get any of her IV treatments since then. So then we've just really seen a decline in her health.
Like a hospital, it's a wellness center.
Yeah, because we were trying more of the Eastern.
Yeah.
And so we're not getting a lot of guidance with that and really trying to figure things out on our own. So she's been really sick the last couple weeks with migraines and things. So that's been really hard. And found another doctor that a friend of mine had wanted us to go to for years. I think I just had a hard time taking her there because I always held him out as like, this is going to be my last hope, kind of. So it was hard to go there and face whether he was going to be able to help us or not. So we're under his care now, and that's so he's trying out some different things. He's a kinesiologist also, but it feels good to have some support and guidance through this, because we felt really cut off from everyone we were, working with prior.
Yeah. And Cassidy she just graduated from high school, right?
Yeah, she was supposed to go to college this year. So she is taking online classes, and she's just the strongest person I know. I mean, she never complains, so she said she's glad everyone is she's not missing out on anything because everyone's home too.
Perpetual optimism. That sounds
She really is. Yeah. So we did it. Is great to have all this time with her. I did her hair, she did mine. She colored and cut my hair, and I did her. Thank you. You can't look at it closely, but
curious. I'm sure other moms would love to know what products did you use? Because we're all experimenting.
That's for sure.
Yeah.
So she's doing all kinds of things. She is, when people talk about self-care, she's got it down pat. She does everything she can for herself. It's really amazing to see.
Good. And this trifecta, that COVID-19 has brought into our lives as a as the public, general public, is a situation that rare moms live with every day, right? So social isolation, homeschooling, and medical
Uh-huh.
uncertainty, right? These are the
Mhm.
norm. Um,
And I would say crushing anxiety.
I love you.
I
Love
have
you.
to be a smart aleck about it. But yeah,
Mhm,
I love it.
mhm. What what's causing the anxiety? What do you worry
Um,
about the most?
her getting something. It's terrifying. Um, because all of her conditions are autoimmune, of course. So for her to have to fight it is scary. Um, and my husband's a pilot for UPS. Um, so he's still out there. So it's figuring that out too. And not because I mean, we need UPS, we need all of our medical supplies and that sort of thing. Um, but it's scary to not be able to control that coming into the house and that.
Yeah. And your son, you have a son as well and a dog and
Yeah, dog.
everybody's out. No, I mean, it's all of it. These are all legit, right?
Yeah,
Worries. Yeah.
and a cat named Nimrod.
And a cat named
So
Maud. Okay.
yeah, so yeah. But like Carter is, he has not complained at all about, needing to be extra careful because he has a sister whose immune system is compromised. He's, as a 16-year-old, uh, I hear a lot of teens that are really struggling with it, and he's just been amazing about that.
I understand. Yeah.
Super supportive. So, um,
So
yeah.
when the worry hits,
hmm
what do you do?
The best thing for me um, is distraction. Really, that's stop my thoughts because they're not going to be helpful and they're just going to make me feel bad. Prayer, I think, because this is not under our control, and I think I keep getting that lesson over and over that somebody else is in control, not me.
Not you.
So I need to just pray when it gets overwhelmingly scary. Um,
Release
yeah.
that too.
So I do that. The I I start my day. I go out for a walk outdoors with my dog, and that gets me moving forward. So that I can keep moving forward. Because with two teens at home, um, you just can't be sad or anxious. You can't.
Yeah. You've got to make dinner and
And you have to be the cheerleader
and
and
uplift.
the problem solver and the one to say that this is all going to be okay, even when it doesn't feel like it is.
Yeah. So you have the facade and then the feelings,
Yeah.
Yeah. And we reconnected with another mom that I met at the same time, a similar time, that also has been dealing with a lot of um, uncertainty and anxiety and worry, and I think you and Annie have become close. You become friends.
Yeah.
What does that connection do for you?
I mean, she's a lifeline for me. Because it's hard to even have family members understand how scary it is. So I am so thankful to you. And I mean, to have met her, to have someone to call that gets all of it, you know. It does. It's we kind of reach out when it's like I'm at the end of my rope.
Yeah. Who do I call?
Right, exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's funny. I mean, we're both married to pilots. We both, you know, we have so many things in common. And it's been great because our girls have connected. And you know, her daughter Ella is 5 and mine is 19. And Ella calls Cassidy her big girl. And Cassidy calls her her little friend. And because they were both doing the transfusions, and then they started sending little gifts to each other to keep them busy during those times. And it's been really sweet.
Oh, that is so, I didn't even know that connection
Oh, yeah.
happened.
It's
I-
actually, I just got a text from her because she was asking if Cassidy was out of bed yet because Ella wanted to FaceTime while she was getting, because she gets her treatments on Mondays.
On Mondays for hours, right? These infusions. I mean,
Hers are,
yeah.
yeah, hers are like 6 hours. Cassidy's are 3 to 4 usually.
You say that so matter of factly, and this is what I talk about when the realities of long-term caregiving are unimaginable.
Mhm.
Is that it's just unimaginable, right? Even a year ago, you weren't working with this scenario, and you've managed to find a cadence of what can help, but you carry that bravery, right? I
No.
just,
I think what is so weird going through the COVID-19 and quarantine, and how like we couldn't have even imagined this a couple months ago, the going out and having the streets empty, and everyone wearing masks and gloves. And I think it brings up so much for me, because it's exactly like being a rare mom, where it was like I couldn't have imagined Cassidy with a cane or a wheelchair or IV treatments twice a week, and it becomes your reality.
yeah, yeah.
So it's those, it's life is mirroring exactly what it's been like to go through all those little steps, you know?
Yeah. Are you finding um, that awareness on the part of friends and family that maybe didn't understand fully what you were going through, and they're now self-sheltering at home, and is that are they making the connection between their personal experience and what you're experiencing, or is it still this otherness?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, at least in my world, I don't think so. There hasn't, yeah.
Yeah.
But, you know, like my extended family have been great in understanding about all that Cassidy's had to give up. But you know, some people won't. Yeah, that's a tough thing to grasp. You
Yeah.
know.
Yeah, we've talked about the giving up. A 19 adult onset, basically. She's an adult now. She's still your baby, but she's an adult. And and these symptoms kicked in, and the whole future she had planned
Mhm.
has shifted.
Yeah.
Can you talk a little bit about that? What's it like for a mom of a teenager, and give us a glimpse into things that changed for her?
Um, gosh, it that comes up daily, I would say. Like she asked me if I could get her outside for a walk so she could see the flowers outside. And we were talking about where we can go, where we can park close. And because she wanted to see Annie, and Ella sent her this, was how to paint the mandalas on rocks. She wanted to go collect rocks at a stream that she had gone to years ago, and we were trying to figure out how to get her there. And it's sort of that's sad for me, um, to accept, just because she's accepted it, you know, that walking to the stream that's would be, quarter mile at the most, that will be too much for her. So it's it's constantly, I guess, accepting what reality is. She still hopes to go away to college. We're still hoping to get her strong enough, that with accommodations she would be able to go somewhere. And it's just, wow, it's hard to keep adjusting to what life is will look like. And I don't know how she's so far ahead of me.
Yeah.
How is she so far ahead of me? I just, you know.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I think
She is your daughter, so she does have that strength in her. And yeah, you're still grieving. You're grieving the life that you thought.
yeah, I think because she knew how sick she was, and I was trying to communicate that to doctors, but I wasn't living it. So I was spending all this time fighting that battle, when it seems like she was accepting, how things, I don't know. That's
Yeah.
my guess.
Yeah. Yeah. This incredible triumph. I remember when I got my breast cancer diagnosis, and we talked about this at retreat. And it was an odd situation where my daughter was at school and my husband happened to be out of town. And so I was alone, and I just remember walking that day, just walking up to a mirror in my bedroom, and I didn't even realize I was crying. It was so like an out of body experience, but just seeing the tears stream down my face, but you're like watching yourself in this almost otherworldly way. And I remember thinking, I'm just so grateful for the life that I've had. What an amazing life I've had. And I didn't think it was going to end this way.
Mhm.
But if it does, I can accept that, because I've had a really amazing time on the planet. And every day after that became just this exercise in gratitude, just and I don't know where that came from. I think there's all these other stages that I could have gone through: anger and resentment and denial and all of these things. And so it just, I so recognized that in Cassidy when I met her, that she was just so
She is.
grateful and joyous to be alive and
Mhm.
making her imprint on the planet, albeit differently
Yeah,
than she thought, you thought.
right.
Yeah.
She's here to do good. That's for sure.
Yeah, she is. Oh my gosh. Send my love, please.
I will.
To
I will.
her. Yeah. Yeah.
She's amazes me every day, really.
Mhm.
Yeah, she's like this old soul.
Right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
she really is. Some of the things she said are so wise, and yeah, I really admire her so much.
That mothering instinct too, she's looking out for you,
I know.
right? The daughter mothering the mother, and yeah, we had a full moon honoring. It's always been my dream, as you know, 'cause is to bring that mothering instinct into a sacred place, because it's not just in women, it's in men, it's in children, it's that
Yeah.
caretaking, that caregiving instinct,
Mhm.
and whether it's for yourself or someone else, and how can we bring that to the light. And it became really clear that the moonlight is what we need to bring it to. So and that came clear from our retreat when we were all dancing in the moonlight. Some of these problems and challenges are just the harsh light of day. It's hard to unpack them in
Yeah.
that environment, and we need some softness
Mhm.
um, to do that. So, uh, yeah, that mothering instinct is really there, and you have that in spades, Erin. Your profession. You are talk about what you do in your spare time, right?
Yeah, steep learning curve probably, but I opened up a private practice. It's 2 years this month. Um, Working mainly with children and teens. I'm a psychologist and worked in the school system for over 20 years. Um, I I love it. I've always been amazed that I get paid to do that, because it's just I want to talk to kids anyway. I want to figure out um how to help them make their lives better, I guess, communicate better, make their relationships better. So I love what I do, and working with parents too. I have a lot of kids with autism on the spectrum, because I had unique opportunities in the school system to work with kids with autism on a daily basis for years in a row, therapeutically. So it was that's just not something people get to do, you know. So I love that. I love working with people like that, or and kids like that. So
And are you in a position to draw on your experiences in your own family in that context, or are they really kind of two separate worlds for you?
no, I mean, I think that they always overlap. I don't, as a psychologist, I was a school psychologist. So much of that is more assessment based. But I always loved doing more of the therapy, but I wasn't trained as, a therapist. That wasn't my intent when I started. So I've kind of figured out my own way of working with people. And for me, it's always about connections. When have I felt like they do? So that connects me with someone, and then we talk through that. So everything is kind of about um what experiences I might have had that parallel theirs, or what happens with my teens at home. Um,
Mm.
you know, I to for me, the relationship I have with my teens is the most important, and then everything else is we can work through,
Yeah.
because it's messy.
Yeah.
Teens,
Connection. Yeah.
it's going to be messy. So if you have a good connection with your team, then, so I love that. I love being able to practice what has worked for me at home, and help other parents connect with their teens. So I don't know. You'd have to ask them, I guess.
Oh, well, you're so much stronger than you realize, Erin. Here you are, living through this experience and then giving back in your environment, and giving back here in this conversation. There's so much rich perspective that nobody else can understand than another rare mom. So that's why we wanted to do these
Yeah.
conversations, was just to kind of bring that to the forefront. If you had a message to share with another rare mom, I'm kind of putting you on the spot, but what would it be?
I mean, I think that what you're doing is key. I mean, I don't, this is what's keeping me going, is connecting with other moms that know what it's like. Because doing it alone, I just don't know how you could. So this is everything, the support that you guys give to me. I wouldn't be able to get through this without it. So thank you.
Oh, now you got me crying. Now you got me crying, Erin.
Oh, it's worse.
All right. Well, I'm so grateful to you for being open, for opening up your heart and sharing your story. And we will continue our conversations. And I just, you're in my heart. You know that you're in my heart every day. So
I know.
take care of you.
I feel it from here.
Take care of you. Take care of you.
I will. Yeah. Love you.
Love you too.